Should a levy only be raised in urgent circumstances?
So the strata corporations and community corporations are responsible for paying their accounts. So basically, if you have accounts and no money, you need to raise a special levy. Obviously, budgeting for your corporation is the best way to do it. So if you know that you've got to do large maintenance in the future, then I would definitely be suggesting raising a sinking fund or increasing a sinking fund to help cover those sorts of fees. But raising levies, unfortunately, at times it is necessary, and the corporation has the power to raise the money to cover their accounts. So, and that's just the committee has the power to authorise those levies. And in some cases, your strata managers have to. You know, if we get a bill and it's for your insurance or your water and there's no money, a levy, there's just no way around it. A levy needs to be raised. But I wouldn't set up your corporation just to permanently agree to pay special levies for any unbudgeted items, because plumbing issues happen all the time, electrical issues happen all the time, insurance claims can happen, and you might have a large excess that hasn't been budgeted for. I'm sure unit owners would prefer to know what's coming every year as opposed to just getting letters and emails from your strata manager, 3 times a year with an extra levy due. So it's really important to spend time with your strata manager on your budget.
Does it come down to the requirements to keep the building in a good state of repair, the common property in a good state of repair?
Yeah, so neglecting your common property, it really is just going to cost you more. So I've had groups in the past where I've taken over management and they've advised me that they need to do major works, and the major works is estimated to cost, in this group, it was estimated to cost about $100,000. They agreed to raise the money over the next 3 years. We just carried out the work for $185,000. So, they didn't call a special levy because they wanted to save for it, but in the end, they ended up spending so much more money on it 3 years later due to deterioration and increased costs out there. So that's your other sort of thing you have to weigh up as well. So the best time I find to set up a sinking fund for unit owners who have been reluctant over the years is just after you've carried out large maintenance and had to pay a special levy for your sinking fund for wood rot or painting. So, I try and break it down over a 10-year period, then per quarter. And if it's still too large, I'd at least try and get 50% of that paid every quarter. And then each year you can just add $5, $10 to it. So owners don't really notice or feel that extra $5 a quarter when you introduce it each year. But that's the best way to do it once they've been hit with the special levy and they realise that they should pre-plan. And a lot of unit owners are worried that if they're going to sell, what happens to that sinking fund? Unfortunately, it stays in the account. You can't get it back. However, I would be highlighting to your sales agent that in so many years we need to do this much work, the money's there. The unit owner isn't going to have to pay for it. So you try and use it as a selling tactic as well.
Definitely. And we've just been asked as well by Gail, so there's no reference in the STA that levies can only be raised in urgent circumstances.
The corporation may raise funds as it thinks necessary, including reserve funds for future expenditure. And it's just a simple ordinary resolution. So that's Section 27 of the Strata Titles Act.